Welcome everyone to today's Indigenous Peoples Day. I am happy everybody is making history, and I am happy we are all part of this collaboration to have a united or a free nation. My name is Rudolph Dapilah. I am from Ghana and the Executive Director for Agri-Business West Africa. For the past years, we at Agri-Business has been doing our best to fight climate change, to eliminate hunger, and to end poverty. Now, we are looking at how do we fight poverty, how do we fight our climate change, and how do we fight our eliminate hunger. So I will tell you a bit about Agri-Business Africa. We are a group of young people who believe in helping one another to solve society's problems, and who also believe hunger is real, climate change is real. So we decided to design a program, a project that will help us combat this challenge with our local resources, limited, and within our community. So the idea of Agri-Business actually started some years back, way back in 2006. But before I go to do the presentation, I would like to tell people how our system here works. Our major people or beneficiaries that we work with are women, schools, or we call students, and the rest of the community. Why did we choose women and children? We chose women and children because they are the most vulnerable when it comes to hunger. They suffer the most. And for that, my team and I, before I progress, thank you to Amos Antomini, my Research and Training Director, Roger, my Finance Manager, Dorothy, our able supervisor, Head of Supervision, Edward Mills, our able Program Officer. So we put together an enhanced project to tackle climate change, eliminate hunger, and end poverty. I am about to show with you a screen that is fairly good, or that entails what we have been doing over the years. Agri-Business is basically based in Ghana, as to be specific, the northern part of Ghana, Upper West region. And we work basically with women groups in all we do. So everything about us is greenish, protecting Mother Earth, and healing. So we have our catchy motto saying, we healing our planet through inclusiveness. Everybody, we bring everybody that is willing to join hands to achieve our aims. So I will share with you a background story of Agri-Business. So at Agri-Business, we did a various I hope this is okay. Okay. So at Ed Green, this is the story. Ed Green Africa actually started as a youth group way back 14 or 15 years ago in 2006 in a community called Tuna. But the idea started as a group who wanted to engage the youth groups, foster unity, by engaging them in so many activities. And one of the activities we actually engaged them in were to organize quiz competitions to build their academic abilities, also organize cleanup exercises or campaigns for them or in their community. This was to ensure healthy living within our community. It was successful and growing big. So as time went on, the group thought it was necessary we started putting on board to these students the spirit of cultivating, the spirit of growing their own food, the spirit of planting trees to combat climate change. And for that, we introduced the school into gardening system or the school gardening project, which was aimed at encouraging the young people to grow their own food to boost their nutrition and health. It was also a good way of instilling working together and to combat climate change. This is a brief history of us, but somewhere along the line, we terminated our project or the initiative. Why did we terminate the project? The founders of this project mostly were young people from high school who wanted to further their education. So at the tertiary level, so we all had to stop and pursue our video. We had no funding to put structure in place to continue arms with the various women organizers, the various schools, and just the various cluster of groups the various clusters or groups we formed. So we have to terminate it. So years back, so a few years back, 4 or 5 years ago, we reactivated the project. We reactivated this project for various reasons. Some of these reasons included, we noticed that the impact of climate change was becoming more visible and obvious. We had high temperature, rising to almost about 37 to 42 degrees Celsius. We had the rainfall patterns changing. People could farm, the rains this time come in late and ends quicker. So community or the indigenous people, the farmers, just a few months to grow their food. And this affected largely our food security systems. Therefore, putting the entire world, the entire community into danger or making them vulnerable to hunger. Now, we also reactivated this on the basis that we noticed that most of our students who used to come to school or the students we were working with used to go to school hungry, therefore causing them to drop out. even though the government had introduced the school feeding program, not all schools were benefiting from this project. So most of our students that we were working on this planting project to protect Mother Earth were going to school hungry, and they were dropping out. So we thought it necessary to reactivate this project to provide at least a meal for most of the students we were working with, to do away with hunger. Now, we noticed that if we were able to do with the basic cause of climate change, probably not just growing, planting trees, or probably not just having the rainfall patterns change, but the impact of the change of the rainfall, that is food security. So we said, fine, if we are to grow plants, we are to eliminate poverty, then one of the steps is to take away hunger. So basically we just said, fine. The idea was to address the impact of the climate change, eliminate hunger, and reduce poverty or eliminate poverty completely. So we designed and introduced a project called the Peat Project, that is P-E-E-P. What is the Peat Project? PEEP actually means protecting Earth and ending poverty. So the PEEP Project is actually an enhanced project, inclusive enough, rewarding project that was meant to combat climate change, end hunger, and poverty. So this project was designed in a way that it will synchronize all our working classes together with the limited resources we have, so that we could end poverty, fight climate change, and fight hunger in Africa. Why did we introduce PEEP? We introduced PEEP, or we designed PEEP and is implemented. We designed PEEP. We designed PEEP and are implementing PEEP for the following simple reasons: to provide incentives for planting trees to reverse the impact of climate change and make planting trees as a hobby attractive. So within this structure, we made it possible that people that were going to work with the project will gain monetary values or other forms of support by planting. We just wanted to make planting to regain the deforestation, to reverse the climate change effect by planting, and to make it attractive enough, very attractive, that everybody will want to go into it, so that we could achieve the needed results. We also introduced this project because we wanted to educate the communities and inform them about climate change and its devastating effect on our planet, and why we should join hands to fight climate change. So that is one of them. We also introduced PEEP to grow enough food to feed the hungry while planting in more sustainable ways, right? To instill the love of planting in younger generations, prepare the way, or to prepare the way for an alternative to trees to provide our materials needs and transition to hemp. to provide a base support for women empowerment in agro-business. Then to create employment for the youth and all who will embrace the project. This is what it is. We noticed that if we were creating farms, or we were doing most of these things, we will employ the youth, we will employ the women, we will have them do genuine and sustainable agro-business and other SMEs, small-scale businesses. And by this, we will eliminate poverty and hunger whilst planting. So what is the Peat model? The Peat model is designed to use limited amount of resources to plant trees with financial gains, to plant or to provide support for women to farm, to build the nutritional base of communities, create employment and hunger, eliminate poverty and reduce carbon emissions. That is the model we designed. Under this model, we synchronize the various schemes under our model concurrently. So under this, let me see. So under this model, so this is what it is. So we'll say, sorry for the H's there. Okay, so we get to our Peat model. Good. To educate and to grow enough food to feed the hungry whilst planting, right? So just like I said before, now we get to the Peat model. So under this model, we have to synchronize the various schemes under our model concurrently to achieve quick results, right? So this is what we came to. How do we do that? So I hope we are all on the same page with our presentation here. And this is what it is. Before we will go, I would like to introduce to the team the legend of our chart or our presentation. So the chart definitions. EGA, the first legend, means Ed Green Africa, EGA. UMBI means Universal Monthly Basic Income. NHIS means National Health Insurance Scheme. OAE means Old Age Expenditure. GSDP means Green Share Dividend Payment. RIC means Reinvestment Capital. EGAAC means Ed Green Africa Administrative Cost. GSME, Group Small Medium Enterprise. G Crop Farms means group crop farms, and G Animal Farms means group animals farms. So back to the chart. Under this project, Ed Green as the organization is at the top of it in blue with a star attached to it. Then you will have Ed Green provide seedlings, drought-resistant seedlings to clients. And these clients, we call them the Green Share clients. The community, the schools, individuals, anybody who wants to contribute to protecting Mother Earth. And these seedlings are provided to these clients at a cost of just 2 cedis, 50 pesos, an equivalent of 65 cents. Now, when we provide these trees or seedlings to the clients, the Green Share clients, it it depends on the quantity they buy. We take the money, so you can see that there's a red arrow right to the left-hand side or to the right-hand side of the green share client block. That indicates these monies are sent back to the organization. So we sell, that's the income we make. Now, when we make this income, we loan it or we give it to the women groups, our beneficiaries who are joining, and we call it the finance generating block. So we give it to the SMEs, small scales and medium sized enterprises in groups. We give it to women that are into agro-business, cultivating. We also give it to women that are into animal farming, right? When we give this to them, and those are the people that shows in the yellow block, that's the revenue generating blocks. The women farm, and they use this money to trade in their farms sustainably and in their businesses. For instance, let's take the farming block. When they farm, they grow whatever they make out of their farming activities. The farm produce are sold, or the farm produce are shared among these women. And the surplus products are sold in the open or local market, right? Within women chain, they give it to women to sell in the local market. Now, the profits that are made from this surplus farm produce sales is sent back to the organization. So with this, sorry for the hitches. So with this, when the money made from the surplus sales of farm products are put into a column we call the surplus profit pool. That is a column we create, or an account we create for all surplus sales revenues to go into. Then that account is sitting with the organization, that's Ed Green. Now, Ed Green takes that money and share the money into portions. A percentage of this money goes into the universal monthly basic income. This money is meant to pay these women working on the project a monthly stipends for the work they are doing, in addition to what they make from the farm, so that they'll have something to take care of other basic projects in their houses or their homes or in their communities. The second portion will go to their national health insurance renewal. Health is important. So we try to renew the health insurance cards for these women so that when they go to hospitals, they wouldn't have to bear their own treatment cost. And that will elevate their standards in the community so they wouldn't have to spend much. We are also putting a percentage of this money aside for these women or these beneficiaries when they grow old, so that they will have something to take care of them. Now, a portion of this money goes to an account that is designated for the payment of the green shares within the investment period or the green investment period. And that is where we call the GSDP. To the upper right side, if you can see it, they are called the GSDP, that's the green shares dividends. Another portion goes to the reinvestment capital. The reinvestment capital is actually the biggest portion of this whole distribution plan, because that is what we use to reinvest into the project so that we can keep sustaining it and expanding our project and having more trees planted. And the last portion is we take a minute portion for the management cost of the organizations, our transportation, organizing our workshops, procuring basic daily administrative materials. We call them consumables. So in simple terms, this is what we do to enable, and we design this structure in a way that we can revolve the capital system so that we can sustain it and have a lot of people come on board. This is the engineering structure the team kept together or decided to design to have our project sustain itself and to have a lot of people coming on board whilst planting a lot of trees. So somewhere in 2016, we ran a pilot project, and the outcomes of the pilot project is what is showing on the screen right now. We have the year, the number of women groups we worked with, the total women that were within the women group, the amount of money we injected our project into, and what we used the money for, and the outcome, the turnover of the money we injected with the corresponding number of trees we planted. So when you check 2016, where we reintroduced our project, and we injected the money into okra farm of about 2, 3, 5 acres, right? And we put, the capital injection was just like $250. That is almost about 1,300 Ghana cedis as at then. To our Amos, with what we have, so on the screen there, let me see. Oh, sorry, we have some H's there, so I have to share with you again. So on the screen right now is the production line. So we invested into okra farms, and with 5 acres, we're making about 130 baskets from each farm, and we are selling probably at $20 per basket or $25 per basket. So at the end of the season, we made over 5,000 US dollars. That's an equivalent of 12,000 Ghana cedis. And with the 250, we had brought in, that's $250. That was an equivalent of almost 6,000 trees planted, because we have to recycle the monies and other people coming on board. Fast forward to 2017, we worked with 11 women groups and 167 women in total. Same project, okra. This time we had a multi-crop farming, okra, pepper, garden eggs, and maize. We injected 3,000 US dollars, and that's an equivalent of 14,000 Ghana cedis, and we made 12,000 US dollars. And this was about 10 to 15 acres of land project. In total, we planted 23,000 trees with that, mostly acacia and some other drought-resistant trees. Then 2018, we worked with 24 women groups. So you can see that our women groups level started increasing because they were embracing the project. They wanted it, they loved it. They knew this was the game changer. And in total, we worked with 289 women groups. Same project, we increased the farm size and we made $8,000. That's the input we put into it. And we came out with $17,000 with 51,000 trees planted. So 2019, we had a challenge. And this challenge, the bank we were saving with was affected by the clamped down on the banking sector in the country. So we lost most of our savings and we didn't do any activity. So you can see there showing yellow. There was no activity. We didn't plan that year because we were financially handicapped. So fast forward to 2020, the year of misery, where we had COVID starting. We couldn't sit, so we started with 3 women group, 32 in total. We did okra farm again as we started. And we had a donation from some few people. So we put in $500 and we made $3,000 at the end of the program. With this year alone, we planted 2,000 trees. This is our efforts we are doing so that we can make it inclusive enough to have people join us. So we actually wanted to have a project target that was we are aiming at planting 40 million trees by 2028 with 5 million planted each year. We wanted to feed 210 million families in Africa. By the same time, give 25 million people, especially women, basic monthly income every month. We wanted to give 10 million homes growing its own backyard garden to feed themselves, to create 500 eco parks in Africa, partner with 15 African countries to expand the project, and substitute industrial use of trees with hemp. Why hemp? Do you know hemp could save the world about 26 billion trees just with 1 acre a year? Now, anything made up of hemp or made up of plastic could be made up of hemp too. 1 acre of hemp can produce the same amount of paper as 4 acres of trees will produce. Hemp requires more, half of the water cotton will require to grow, right? And 1 acre of hemp produces more oxygen than 27 acres of trees. This is our bigger picture. Our challenges actually have to do with lack of funding to expand the project, research tools to explore the hemp industry further, mobility and transportation challenges, and challenges in accessing international partners. We expect about 200,000 to 5 million United States dollars each year, approximately, to aim or to achieve our targets or goals. Thank you. I will encourage each and every one of us to join hands in fighting climate change and to join hands in eliminating hunger and ending poverty. This is our world. People who want to interact with us further can go to www.greenafrica.org and we can share more details with you and bring you on board in doing our project. Thank you.